Hi, I'm Zachary. Today I'm going to be talking about how cloud-based collaborative tools could be used in corporations. I'll be using examples from when my group used Slack, Skype, Google Docs, and Dropbox to create a collaborative report. We began by having our lecturer place us into groups on Slack, where we created individual channels for each criteria. Members who were working on these criteria then used the channels for their discussions. The advantages of doing it this way is that it kept the general channel very tidy and specifically for drafts. However, the disadvantage was that it limited any extra input from the other members who weren't working on these criteria. One way that the group could have better utilized the channels was to incorporate all of the members so that these discussions could involve all of the ideas while still being criteria specific. One advantage that Slack has over Skype is that because everything is written down, it's easy to remember everything that is discussed, and therefore it's able to be implemented at a later date. Slack is a website that was created with the intention of instant messaging. Writing up large slabs of text in Slack means that they can often get lost or misplaced within these other huge chunks of text. This made it very inadequate for writing drafts. As the Skype wrangler, I took it upon myself to make a group and send the link to the other members. Each week at an allocated time, the team would come together in this group to have an in-depth discussion about the assessment. One advantage about Skype is that we were able to discuss things in a more timely manner than on Slack. However, because it was all verbal, only notes were able to be written down and then transferred over to Slack, where those who couldn't attend the meeting were then able to read them. One advantage of using Skype in a corporate setting is that even if key members of staff are unable to physically attend a meeting, they could still be connected through Skype, where they would be able to hear and share ideas. One of the disadvantages that comes with Skype include technical difficulties, and sometimes technical skills can be required to fix minor bugs. An example of this is when one lady in my group was unable to get her microphone to work. My group decided to use Google Docs to write, edit, and share our drafts with each other. This made it super easy for other members to be able to make changes, provided that the settings were set correctly. It was discovered that some skills were required to set these settings, and it took a while for a couple of members to catch on. One advantage was that the sharing and accessibility of these files was incredibly easy for the entire group. The disadvantage, however, is that if these links are shared with people outside of the group, unlimited access can then be granted. This means that in a corporate setting, information would be able to be leaked very easily. The last tool that the team used was Dropbox. The major difference between Dropbox and Google Docs is that once the file is uploaded to Dropbox, it can then not be edited. This makes it far more inadequate for group projects or collaborative writing. The advantage, however, is that it's much more secure, as they often need passwords to be able to access it. This means that information for a corporation would be much more secure than on Google Docs. If a corporation was going to use a website to upload a file just once, then Dropbox would be far more adequate than Docs. However, if this file was expected to need future editing, then Docs would be more appropriate. Likewise, for short meetings where few notes are required to be taken, Skype would be far more ample. Slack, however, would be superior when many ideas need to be collaborated together.